Something's wrong. I feel like I've been here before. A lot. I remember saving a pirate, but I don't remember doing it with this. But this is the Gila monster, a mantis cruiser specifically built for launching raids on other ships. And this thing is no joke. It might be tempting to think that there's not much difference in the ships of this galaxy. They all fly remarkably similar after all. But there's nuance to these designs, and an understated understanding of umbrage when faced with a bad one. And this isn't a bad ship. Not really. Aside from its wonderful paint job, the secret sauce is in the starting equipment, and its crew. Having the teleporter come stock in this ship is a godsend. The ability to board ships right off the bat means you have the potential to gather more resources after a fight, which gives you a leg up on snagging upgrades early. And it makes sense, you're going to get more salvage from an intact ship rather than one you blew to pieces. But it does add another layer of micromanagement on top. You gotta pay attention to your strike team on top of fighting the enemy ship. And it can become a bit of a delicate dance between survival and not blowing up the other ship while your guys are still on it. Luckily, you won't be short on fighters. The Gila monster starts with 3 Mantis crew members straight out of the gate. Some of the most notoriously brutal fighters in the galaxy. And while you can only send over 2 at a time, the 3rd will make a welcome backup if you just weren't quick enough with the teleporter. Accidents happen after all. And we all know the job we signed up for. Unfortunately, if you lose your boarding party, there's not much left in your arsenal. The bomb launcher is of course more than capable of carrying you through to the endgame, but it is reliant on having missile parts laying around. A commodity that's often better off as a trade resource. And a small laser. A weapon that can't even penetrate the weakest of shields. It takes 10 seconds to charge, fires 1 shot, and does a single point of damage. And I'm gonna be honest, I hate this gun. Which isn't exactly a hot take, but really, I'd almost rather not have anything at all and start off with a little bit more scrap. It doesn't help that the ship only has 3 weapon hardpoints anyway. It feels a bit like a slap in the face to start with something that seems like it's supposed to be helpful, but actively isn't. You'd think it'd be useful for pecking at an enemy system while your boarding team does its work, but the truth is, in practice, it's much smarter to keep the bomb launcher primed and ready to take out a medbay, or a weapon system that's come back online. With a few exceptions. Because the tactical nature of the ship revolves around fighting enemy crew, you'll find yourself at a disadvantage if there's no crew to fight. Rebel AI scout ships are a particular kind of teeth-clenching annoyance early on. No crew means no oxygen, so while you can send over a boarding team to disable parts of the ship, you'll need to be very quick with the trigger on your upgraded teleporter to bring them back home before they die. Lest your mantis boarders suffocate in one of the most horrific ways imaginable. Here, and pretty much only here, is where the small laser shines. Sometimes you just need to pour on as much damage as possible, even if it is just 1 at a time. There's some other questionable design choices too, like why a ship that was so heavily focused on boarding wouldn't have any sensors on board. I could understand not immediately being able to see into the enemy ship, but it seems stupid not to be able to see in your own. The teleporter is ridiculously far away from the rest of the ship, seemingly for no reason, and it's a bit of a pain in the beginning if you want to have the crew pulling double duty in other parts of the ship. The airlock placement is bizarre if you ever want to suffocate anyone who's invaded your own ship, and the sheer amount of wasted space makes a tempting target for an enemy hull laser. In short, while this may be a fun ship to fly, it's designed pretty badly. I'd be much happier with the teleporter next to the shields, the medbay above it, and the oxygen system underneath the weapons. True, it would only leave a very small room left over to expand into, but it would cut the size of the ship in half, which I gotta believe would make it a smaller target. Maybe I won't get pummeled by artillery fire quite so easily. If you intend to go face off against the Rebel flagship, there are much better options out there. Worse ones too. But I don't like flying the Gila monster to go fight the bad guys? Are we the baddies? Whatever. I prefer the role of privateer, taking what I like and outrunning the authorities in my wake. I just happen to be delivering something along the way. But if push comes to shove, you could get lucky, and they won't immediately knock out your teleporter and medbay, killing the only guy on your ship who knew how to fix anything, and leaving you a helpless husk subject to the void of space. Or maybe not. Something's wrong. I feel like I've been here before. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button for the algorithm and leave a comment down below with what you want to see next. The soundtrack used here is available on the Patreon for free. And if you're already subscribed, thank you again. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.